Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Nguma, founder of PATTERNOLOGY LAB, and today I'll be going in depth on my trades this week and how I was able to turn $400 into $5,800 in just 4 days. I will also be going in depth on why I took the trades that I did, when I got into the trades, and why I chose to get out of the trades when I did, right after the intro. Now let's dive into those details. To start off, this is my P&L for the week. As you can see, we started at $388 and went all the way up to $5,400. Okay. Now let's look at the stock that I traded, which was Tesla. Let's get into Tesla and let's get into the history. Show more. Perfect. And now let's go all the way down to February 24, which is when I started buying my puts. Yep, right there. That right there is the first put that I bought. And the reason why I focused on Tesla specifically is I want you to pay attention to something. All right. Now I'm gonna grab my drawing tool and circle this section right here. All right. This and this alone is the reason why I decided to focus on primarily on Tesla. All right. Now, for those of y'all who don't know what this is called an island gap reversal. All right. You got the first gap right here, followed by the island. Those three candles at the top. That's where the long bias traders, that's where the FOMO traders, that's where the people who are super hopeful that the stock is gonna go all the way up to 1600. That's where they get trapped, right? They get trapped in the island, and then followed by the gap down. And the gap down triggers a psychological response to the people who got at the top, right? To start selling, because if they don't sell, things would end badly really soon, as it happened this entire week. Now, let me show you some examples of this. If you go on Google and you type in island gap reversal, and you click on images, here's different images of the same thing happening over and over again. And this one looks exactly like what happened in Tesla. You can see there's three daily candle, which form the island. And you can see the gaps right underneath them. All right. And you can see the same thing over here too. All right. And you can see the same thing over here on the long side. Okay. It works both ways, long and short. All right. And you can see the same thing happening over here. Now, let's look at another one in the Think or Swim. This one will be much more clear. All right, if you go back all the way, to to September 19, to September 10. If you go back all the way to September 10, okay, we can see that the same thing happened to Roku. The same exact thing happened. This island gap reversal happened to Roku, right? And what happened next is all of these people that were trapped at the top all sold and contributed to this drop. And the people who went in short made a lot of money, especially those people who bought very short-term contracts. Now, let me show you one last example of this island gap reversal. And that one happened at the same time as Tesla has its island gap reversal. And that the stock is SHOP. Let's look at SHOP, all right? And as you can see, same thing again, same thing. All right, we got the island followed by the gap. Well, we got the gap followed by the island followed by the gap down. And this gap right here causes fear and panic in everybody that went long at the top. Now these people are gonna help the short sellers who started loading up on puts and borrowing shares to short. All right, these people are gonna help them make more money on the way down, because as the stock is dropping, they're gonna panic. It's human nature. It's human psychology. They're gonna panic. They're gonna sell, and the stock is gonna go way down and down and down until all of the short sellers cover up the position and then rallies back up again. It happens over and over again. The first reason was the island gap reversal, which was clean. All right. The second reason is the bad news after bad news, especially with coronavirus, which is happening around the world and affecting a lot of people. All right, and now let's dive into when I got in and why I got out, why I did. Let's go back to the history. Okay, now if you look at the history, all of these puts that I bought were right at the close. The first put that I bought was 15 minutes before the market closed on Monday, and I bought that one for $150, right? And then I sold it the next day on a drop. And let's look at, I sold it right here in this drop right there, okay, for $190. So that was a 40% profit, $40 profit. And then I waited until the end of the day to get back in into a slightly cheaper option, okay. So I used that same money to get back in for $170, and then at the close again I doubled it, okay. I added more money to it, so this total right here is 300, okay. And then I added another one again at the close. So the first one was here, and then after seeing the value of my option diminishing over time, I had to put more money into it over here and over here. As you can see, these three puts were bought on the same day. Now let's look into when I took profits. Now the first let's move on to when I actually took profits off the table. Now, all right, the first time I took profit was at exactly 10:22, which is 9:22 in Central Time. All right, and that one was right here in this candle. I took my first profit right here in this candle, my most expensive option, for $2,500. Okay, that one I got out at that price, and then I took the rest of the options. I took the rest of the money off the table later that day, right here, and I took another one off right there, and then I got back in at the end. I got back in at the end of that same day, okay, for $220 and for $370. Again, I bought two more puts just in case we saw another drop, which we did. All right, now this was my first trade by far. This trade right here was my first trade out of all of them. The plan was to get out at 9 p.m. It really was. Not because, you know, obviously it's Saturday and we were looking at what happened. The plan was to get out at 9 p.m. because usually at that time the market sentiment reverses. If there's a big dip or a big crash in the market, 9:15 is the time that it usually reverses. Why? It's just the way it is. But I wanted to wait until then. But when I saw this giant green candle, I got shaken out of my position and I took profits. I only took like that was a $400 win on this move right there. And as you can see, I sold these two puts for around, I mean, these two are right here equal to 1100, and I bought them for 600. So that was an 80% gain on that. Now, the reason why I got out at those prices, especially on Friday, is because of this. If you go on this moving average right here, the 200 moving average, and let me change the setting of that 200 moving average to 50, right? And if we apply that to the chart, then we can see that the price of Tesla just crashed right above it, okay? And this right here is not a good sign, especially for those who are going short. And yeah, you don't want to be holding short for the next week. At least, yeah, you really don't want to. This is the time where you actually go long. And if you look at space, Space did the exact same thing. Everybody who shorted Space all the way down to that line made a lot of money, okay? And then on Friday, there was a second chance to get out, okay, to cover your profits and to leave. All right, now for those of you who left, good job, because next week is just gonna be an absolute run-up. Okay, that's just a fair warning, and it's also my opinion. Do your own research, okay? Do your own research. But yeah, that's the reason why I got out of Tesla. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this video helpful or got any value from it at all, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you have any questions or comments, make sure to put them in the comment section below. I would love to hear what y'all think, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you're new to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also that notification bell. That way you get notified every time I release new videos. That will be about once or twice every week. My name is Paul with Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see y'all in the next one. Take care.